let's look at a very important concept in Swift and programming in general. If-else or switch case. These two things do more or less the same functionality. So in programming, you might have a variable and you might want to check what its value is. So you will say, if it equals this, then do something. Else, if it equals something else, then do something else. And the story is much the same with switch case. So it's not too difficult to grab the concept of this. So open up Playgrounds and follow along. Right, let's start with something nice and simple. Let's have a var called mynum, which is just going to be a simple integer with the value of 33. Now, how do we test if the value is 33? Because let's say we want to send someone some kind of birthday card, depending on our program, and if their age is only 32, we don't want to send it yet, but as soon as they turn to 33, we might want to send it. So what we need then is an if statement. We'll say if, open bracket, mynum is, and here's the tricky bit, equals equals. There are two equals signs, 33. And this is called a comparison operator. So it's just comparing the two sides. It's not setting one as the other. Then once you've done that, if this is true, we open a curly brace and Swift automatically closes the curly brace. So if mynum is 33, then it's going to execute whatever is inside of these curly braces. If it's not 33, it won't execute it. So let's print mynum. And we should see that over on the right-hand side. It has printed it. Now, print is simply a command to, as it sort of implies, to print something out. And that's why it's come out as a string. It's got quotes around it. And it's got this \n, which means create a new line. Don't worry about that for now. The important thing is we've printed out this value of 33. Whoops. Okay, so it is 33. But what if I put 32 in my initialization? Well, this doesn't actually get executed. So it doesn't show up on the right-hand side. Let's set it as 33. Okay, let's say we want to test for various different numbers. Let's say else if, open your brackets, mynum is, and you don't just have to have equals to, you can have greater than 33. Then we can print something like old man. So what our program does, this is the logic flow of it, it checks if it's 33. If it is, it prints it. And then it doesn't bother checking anything else. That's why we have this word else. It's only going to do this if that is not true. So it doesn't do old man. So if I put 34 in here, we should get the else statement printed out, but not the first one printed. So it's skipped over this because it's not true, but this one is, so it'll do that. Okay. Now what if we don't have 33 or 34? Well, we can cover all the other scenarios by simply having else. We don't have to have if. So if our program goes and checks this one and it doesn't work, checks this one and it's not true, then it will go to this final one and it will execute it. You don't have to have this final else, just so you know. But if you want something to execute regardless of the value, then we're going to print it. So let's print young man. Okay, so if I have the value of 30 here, we should get young man printed out. Excellent. So you can see what I've done here. I've covered all the eventualities for what my number could be. It's either equal to 33 or it's greater than 33. And what's left after you've been through those two? Well, it can only be less than 33, which is else. So the other way I could have done this, I could have said else if my num is less than 33. And that would give me exactly the same result. That would cover everything. Now, of course, this starts to look a little convoluted. What if we wanted to search for 30, 31, 32, 33, 34? You can see how this would get kind of unwieldy and unreadable. So the alternative to if-else is called switch case. I'm just going to make a little room here. And this works like this. We switch my num. And then we open curly braces, and Swift will close them for us. Then we say to it, if you have a case where my num is 33, then I want you to print my num. Like so. And then we can have another case where my num is between 0, ... and is less than 33. And for that, we can print young. And finally, we can have a case for when we're older than 33, but rather than doing that and just simply inverting that sign, we're going to have the equivalent of an else statement, which in switch case is actually called default. So this is the thing it'll do if it finds no other things to do. Print old. So let Xcode catch up with us. I obviously program faster than Xcode. And it tells us we have young man in both cases. So if I put 99, hopefully we have an old man and old. So those two, the if-else and the switch case, are very important concepts in programming. We're going to use them a lot, and you'll just get used to them, to be honest, because we're going to use them so much, it'll just become second nature to you. Right, on to the next one. Congratulations! You made it to the end of this video, which puts you in the top 10% of my viewers. For each one of you, there are 9 others who didn't make it this far. That perseverance you've shown means that you're much more likely to succeed as a developer. Now, to help you on your way, I want to give you the next part of my iOS course completely free. No trials, no credit cards, instant access. Simply click the link below the video to ensure that you don't miss out.